All right, now we'll go over the workout portion. As I just went over, first we would have a dynamic warm up. Then immediately they would have our athletes, our football team in particular, would have a water break. Typically that's about 45 seconds. Then a sample workout would be one of our sprint days, which we would start off with 12 40-yard strides. And a stride is not a jog, but it's also not a sprint. So it's 3/4 speed. About 75% of full speed is what a stride is. They'll get 25 seconds rest in between the reps. And so we'll do 12 consecutive 40-yard strides. So as soon as they complete their 40-yard stride, they got 25 seconds to recover and then repeat. And so we don't stop until we finish all 12. Immediately after the 12 40-yard strides, they get a 2-minute break to recover for what's next. And after that, they would have 8 10-yard sled pushes. The sleds themselves would have 225 pounds on them, and they would have to put forth a max effort over 10 yards. So this is almost like a weighted sprint. So they're pushing that sled 10 yards as fast as they can. And they would get approximately 30 seconds rest. The rest time for the sleds aren't timed because we do them in groups. So right after one person finishes, the next person goes and then the next person. But by the time it gets back to that first person, typically around 30 seconds of time has passed by for them to recover. And we would do 8 10-yard sled pushes. Then we would immediately, so we wouldn't have any organized break time in between the 8 10-yard sled pushes and the 10 10-yard sprints. And the reason being is the 8 10-yard sled pushes are actually acting as a primer or a warm-up for the 10 10-yard sprints. So this is almost like a dynamic warm-up, but very advanced and very specific to sprinting 10 yards. So as soon as they're done doing this, they'll go immediately into 10 10-yard sprints. And on here, I have plus a 10-yard stride. So essentially, they'll sprint 10, but continue running for additional 10 yards. So they won't stop until they're past 20 yards. They're not allowed to immediately stop after sprinting 10. They must continue to run for at least another 10 yards. And the reason being for that is to allow them the ability to actually go all out for those 10 yards and allow them space to finish through. Also, this will help prevent injury in the sense of a guy trying to sprint 10 yards and then immediately stopping. Just go ahead and go straight through, stride nice and easy. And typically they have about 25 seconds rest. These are also untimed. So the way we do those is after the whole groups finish their sprint, we allow them to, if this is the line and the whole group sprints through the line, we wait for them to return. They'll sprint through and return back to this line. And once that group returns back to the line, we send them back for another 10 yards. But that time is typically around 25 seconds. It'll be as fast as about 15 and as slow as 35, but typically it'll stay around that. So this is a sample running running workout, which is tailored towards our football team. So you can do a similar workout where you have a warm up, a break, and whatever you like to do. Maybe this will be a mile run, maybe it'll be 10 100-yard strides, whatever type of running you like to do. If it's reps, make sure you have calculated rest in between the reps. And then if you're going to continue to do more within your running workout, you might want to consider having a timed break and then another set of running, which once again, this is resisted running. Another form of resisted running may be a band or a parachute or the actual sled with weight. And then sprints is an all max effort. Typically, you want sprints to be a shorter distance unless you're a track athlete. But yeah, this is a sample running workout. We have a dynamic warm up, water break, a set of strides, another break, a set of resisted running, and then a set of max effort running, and then they'll be done.